Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I and Shang are going to give you a presentation on database migration approach and strategies. So, what is data migration? In the highly advanced world of technology, data migration has become a hot problem statement in the IT industry. As a lot of modern organizations are looking to move from the old legacy systems to a more advanced application systems. It is a key consideration for any system implementation, upgrade, or consolidation. Data migration can occur for a variety of reasons, including server or storage equipment replacements, maintenance or upgrades, application migration, website consolidation, and data center relocation. I have been involved in one of the data migration projects where our client AIA Life Insurance had to migrate data from their old policy admin system, Ingenium, to the Computer Science Corporation system called Life 400. Now, we would be looking at a slide which explains the need of data migration. Users generally don't like to work on old and complex interfaces. They want to save their time, and many of the legacy systems have this problem where the users find it hard to navigate through multiple menus, and the response time of application has a negative impact on the business processes of the organization. The existing data might contain a lot of junk, or metadata of the tables in the database might require major changes due to change in the business requirements. A lot of time, organizations have to upgrade their existing application system and move to a more enhanced version of the existing system. This situation might involve change in the structure of the existing database files and thus require data migration. So, below are the steps required for successful preparation of the data migration project. Scope of work document is required in the start of the data migration project where the requirements and the impact areas of the project on business would be clearly stated. It requires the identification of budget, timeline, and required resources, which is critical for the implementation of these projects. Migration strategies and tools should be thoroughly studied, and the risk of using these tools should be evaluated as per the industry standards. It is very important to study the schema of the source and target databases as it will never be the same. For example, if you are migrating data for a bank, the PIN code field in the customer table in the source system might be of different length than in the target system. Master codes might be different in two systems. For example, product code stored in the source application might be stored as an integer, whereas it might be alphanumeric in the target system. Therefore, data cleaning from the source system is also critical, as the IT team would like to get rid of all the junk and irrelevant data before they load it to the target system. So, data extraction is the first phase of the migration where all the data is taken out from the source system and kept in the staging database. Once the data is extracted, it needs to be transformed in accordance to the target database. As stated in previous slide, due to different databases, the data re-engineering and transformation becomes necessary. Once the data is converted, the IT team needs to validate the data. For example, if the product code got converted to a different code, then they have to check whether all the product codes are there in the product master table of the target system. A set of pre-migration SQL queries can be prepared for validating the transformed data, and exception report can be prepared if any record fails the validation. There are various phases of data migration. First step is to provide the design of the whole migration strategy, which the developers and the business analysts of the IT team can use to develop the migration tool. It involves creating staging files and writing the programs for migration. It involves studying the database structure of the source and the target systems. Once the migration tool is ready, the data extraction takes place. Generally, the management has to decide whether they want to upload the 100% of data in one go or they want to do it in multiple iterations. These steps are followed by cleaning the data and mapping it in relevance to the target system. In the loading phase, actual migration of data takes place. Reconciliation is last but one of the most important phases of data migration, as with this volume of the data that got migrated can be easily validated using post-migration SQL queries. This slide gives an example of two systems where the metadata is different in two applications. This signifies that data cleansing and test transformation is necessary before loading the data to the target systems. As we can see in the PV root table, there are additional fields added in the target system, whereas there are less number of attributes in the source. That's why transformation from the source system is unnecessary. This slide will summarize the activities and different phases of the migration. Data is extracted from the source system and moved to the staging files. The activity comprises scanning of all the tables and the different attributes of the tables. A report should be created during the preparation of the data, which will summarize the structure of the database in the source system. Data will be re-engineered and integrated before loading from the staging. All the migration activities should be carried out in the test environments first. Once the users from all the different departments verify the data and perform all the data operations and functionality tests, they will give a sign-off document to the IT team where after which they can start doing the migration in the production server. The expectations from the data migration project should be clearly described. The following questions should be clearly discussed with the client. How much time will it take to complete the project? What is the cost of resources to be used? Period of time required for the completion of the project? And is there any support needed from third-party vendors? There are some critical questions to be answered while migrating databases. The first question is it going to be phased or all at once? Most organizations prefer migrating in chunks and in multiple iterations. The second question is how will it be rolled back if the migration fails at runtime? Daily system backups help to restore the image if any junk data gets restored by the migration activity, and the migration logic comes with a commitment control as well. Scalability is other key concern for these projects as organizations need to evaluate whether the new application is going to be sustainable in the future. This comes under the risk evaluation of the project. Plans also need to be devised for irrecoverable system failures. In data migration, the IT team has to make sure that there is no loss of any data because loss of even a single record in any of the tables can create a huge impact. Data masking is critical while performing the iterations of the live production data in the user acceptance phase of the project. Company would not want that critical information such as credit card information of their customers get leaked out to the people working on the project. Standard cryptography techniques can be used to preserve critical information, which includes encrypting the data at the source side and then decrypting it again at the target side while loading for the data migration. Users of different departments will have different set of authorities in the system, and authorities of every user should be evaluated to strengthen information security. Control on the processes of data migration project should be enforced by the IT audit team, and the whole migration project should comply with IT risk and compliance standards set by the organization. In conclusion, we would like to say that data migration can be a huge strategic decision that a CIO can think of, as the return over investment can be great. For example, a company XYZ was able to process 1,000 claim records in one day, but once they migrated to the new application, the data got better and the application boosted their operations and increased their business. Users turn out to be happy as a lot of them find it easy and convenient to use the new system. Although user training for the new application system is an added cost for these projects and some users can become reluctant to switch to a different technology. But once they start using the new system, they get accustomed to the functionalities and find it really useful. Thanks a lot for watching this presentation. Have a nice day.